Okay, now that we've solved for z, what's going to be the easiest variable to solve for next? Y. And which equation are we going to use to do that? The second one. So plug in what you got for z. So you get y plus 2z equals -1. You know that z is +1. So y plus 2 equals -1. So what does y equal? -3. Okay, now what? Plug it into the first one and solve for x. So plug in both y and z. So x plus 2 times -3 minus 1 equals -5. Okay, simplify all of that and you get x equals 2. Okay, when it was a 2 by 2 system, how did we write our answers? An ordered pair, right? Well, this time, how many answers do I have? 3, so I'm going to write it as an ordered triple in alphabetical order. X, Y, Z, 2, -3, +1. An ordered triple. What are you supposed to do with that? You can't graph it in 2 dimensions, but you can graph it in 3 dimensions, and I don't think you want me to go there, but you can. What? Yeah. Well, you have your x and y, and then you have an imaginary z coming at you. It's terrible. You don't want to do it. Just know it exists. All right, are we good? We're about to up the ante a little bit. Okay, so that one was really easy because one equation just had one variable. So solving the system was relatively easy, and then we want to look at this one. Is this one quite as easy as the last one? Sadly, it's not. But what could you do with the first 2 equations in the system? What can we do with the first 2 equations in the system?
We could subtract 3.
What'd you say, Allison? Yeah, exactly. Okay, we can get rid of the x, right? We can use those 2 equations. We can do elimination to get rid of the x. And then we'll have 2 equations with just 2 variables, right? So I'm going to multiply the first equation by -1, which is going to change all of the signs in the equation. And then I'm going to add that to the second equation. Which is going to give me the equation 5y minus 2z equals 7. Okay. So now, if I wrote it like this, then I would have this equation and my last equation here. So 5y minus 2z equals 7, and 2y plus z equals 1. Okay, ignore all of that. This looks like the stuff you saw on your homework, right? Yes. Okay, so you should be able to solve this. So ignore all of that for a minute and solve this one using substitution or elimination. A lot of you solved for y, which is fine, or found y, and then once you know what y is, you can plug it in and find z. You may not have solved it like I did, and that's okay. So hopefully you got that y equals 1 and z equals -1. Okay, but what am I missing? X. How can I find x? Plug it into any of those equations up at the top, right? Blake says the second one, but I can use any of them. Well, technically, could I use the third one? No. First two, so pick your favorite. I think I always use the first one, just out of habit. And then you simplify, you get x equals -2. So your ordered triple is -2, +1, -1. Okay, in this system, all three variables are present in all three equations. So our goal is to take two equations and eliminate a variable, then take another two equations, eliminate the same variable, so that you've taken it from a 3x3 to a 2x2, which is a little bit more familiar. All right. So when I did this, I used elimination to get rid of the x. You don't have to get rid of the x. You could pick a different variable. It's just you have to pick the same variable to eliminate first. Okay? So if I want to use the first two equations to eliminate x, what do I need to multiply that first equation by? -2. I'm going to multiply that first equation by -2. Which is going to give me -2x minus 2y minus 2z equals -12. I'm going to add that to my second equation to eliminate x. Okay, when I eliminated x, z also canceled. So I get -5y equals -10. That's kind of nice. Because what does y equal now? 2. +2. Negative 10 divided by negative 5 is positive 2. Okay, so that was more helpful than I thought it was going to be. But I still can't solve for x and z because all of my equations have all three variables, right? So I'm going to do that same process. I'm going to use the first equation and the third equation to eliminate x again. So this time, what do I want to multiply my original first equation by so that x will be eliminated when I add it to the third one? Negative 3. So I'm going to multiply it by negative 3. I get negative 3x minus 3y minus 3z equals negative 18. I'm going to add that to my third equation, 3x plus y minus 3z equals negative 4, which gives me the equation negative 2y minus 6z equals negative 22. What's going to be my next step? Plug in y. I know that y is 2, so I can plug that in and solve for z. So hopefully you got z equals 3. Now what do I have to find? X. Okay, you can plug y and z into any of those original equations. Pick your favorite, plug them in, and solve for x. I always pick the first one, plug in 2 and 3. You should get x equals 1. So our ordered triple is 1, 2, 3. Are you ready to try one on your own? Okay, try this next one on your own. Or with a neighbor. Okay, so if you're stuck, I encourage you, okay? Okay, so once you've eliminated a variable, you've picked 2 equations, you've eliminated something, right? Then you're going to pick 2 different equations. One of them can be the same, but then you're going to pick the one you didn't use and eliminate that same variable again. So you're going to eliminate the same variable twice, which will leave you with a system of 2 equations and 2 variables. Then it looks like the ones you did on the homework. Okay? So if you eliminate x, which is totally fine, if you eliminate x, you can do that with the first 2 equations and get an answer. Eliminate with the second 2 equations, get an answer, then those 2 answers together make a new system. Okay? You can turn and work with a partner, feel free. It's easier to do with a friend than by yourself, I promise. Okay, so I'm going to show you how I did this one. Most of you did not do it the same way I did, and that's fine. I'm just doing all of this so you can see my answer for the first one. Okay, most of you did not do it that way, and that's totally fine. You should still get the same answer. So once you've done that one, you can move on to the next one. On the next one, you will get a nice, pretty fraction for x. It's not a mean fraction, it's a nice one, but then y and z should both be whole numbers. All right, I'm going to put up how I did the next one. You don't have to do it like I did. So you should get 1/2, -3, and 2. Good. Then you just gotta keep going with Y and Z, but you're doing good. Once you get that first one, the rest are like, okay, I can do it. Okay, let's talk about the application problem. So many words, right? Okay, at the Sweethearts Dixieland Dining Restaurant, meals are served a la carte. That is, each item on the menu is priced separately. Ennis is eager to impress the love of his life, Daisy Duke, so he invites her to a romantic dinner. Daisy ordered prime rib, 2 side dishes, and a roll, costing a total of $36. Ennis ordered the prime rib, 3 side dishes, and 2 rolls. The combined total of the 2 dinners was $80 before tax and tip.
Hey, don't touch him.
If the prime rib is 3 times as expensive as a side dish, what is the cost of each item? Okay, so how many items are we looking at the cost of? 3 items, right? So I'm going to call them X, Y, and Z, because that's what we've been using all day, right? So I'm going to let X be the prime rib, or the cost of prime rib, or Y is the side dish, and Z be the roll, because those are the 3 things we're looking for. If I have 3 variables, how many equations do you think I need? 3. Because we've been doing 3 all day, right? So the first one we're going to look at is Daisy. That's the first one they talk about in the problem. It says Daisy ordered a prime rib, 2 side dishes, and a roll, which cost a total of $36. How would I make that an equation? X plus 2y plus z equals 36. 1 prime rib, 2 side dish, and 1 roll was $36. So there's Daisy. Okay, next up is Ennis. It says Ennis ordered the prime rib, 3 side dishes, and 2 rolls. So that would be X plus 3y plus 2z equals, where'd that come from? Says the total of the 2 dinners was $80 before tax. Well, we know that Daisy was $36. 80 minus 36 is 44. So there's our equation for Ennis. Okay, the last one is the tricky one. If the prime rib is 3 times as expensive as a side dish, so the cost of the prime rib is equal to 3 times a side dish. right? Because the prime rib is 3 times as much, so x equals 3y. We're gonna write it in the same form as the other two. So x minus 3y plus 0z equals 0. That last one that trips people up usually.
Why does it look like that?
Because the way they worded it, they said the prime rib is 3 times the cost of the side dish. So this is what they gave you, but then you want it to look like the other ones so that it isn't quite as challenging.
Oh, okay.
But zero Z is negative.
So I'm putting all the variables on one side. So if I subtract 3y, then I get x minus 3y,
got it.
and there's no z equals 0. Okay? Now you have a system of 1, 2, 3 equations. 1, 2, 3 equations. Okay, my advice, since this one only has x and y, I'd probably use these two to get rid of z. And then solve. Alright? I'm gonna let you do it because it's just solving equations now. You're solving the system now. Yes. You wrote it in pen.
Do we have to?
Yeah, I got it. Oh, wait, hold on. You don't have to do it like I did. You probably did it a different way.
What is all this teamwork?
I just like to name them.
Oh my god.
Hey, you should get, that prime rib costs $21, each side dish is $7, and each roll is $1.
That's what I got.
Yeah, that's much value.
Okay, that's what you should get on the first one. Okay, so notice when it was a word problem, I did not get my answer in an ordered triple.
Can't you just say like prime rib equals adult or $21?
That wouldn't be a sentence, though. You got it?
It's between you and me,
Yeah,
and you know what's up.
yeah.
We'll check the email at a restaurant.
Okay, we're gonna set up the second one, because this is the one I did wrong 3 times. Finally gave up this
Oh
one.
my gosh, cause they
Try to get-
they don't wrong, but they just say how much they spent, so they say how much less they spent.
Right? Right, I'm with you. Okay,
My friend does math on that.
here we have the next one. Laverne and Shirley have gone on a shopping spree. Laverne bought 3 blouses, 2 skirts, and 4 pairs of jeans. Shirley bought 1 more blouse and 1 less skirt than Laverne. She also bought 3 pairs of jeans. Laverne spent $292 while Shirley spent $40 less. If the jeans cost $4 more than the skirts, what is the price of each item? Right, all the words.
Do we have word problems on my homework?
Yes. Okay.
Yeah,
There is one word problem, and I think we're gonna set it up together, because I'm not confident
You
you'll.
don't keep the receipt, you better check.
Okay.
Fair enough.
You got it.
Okay, let's start off with this one though. Let's talk about Laverne and Shirley. What are the 3 things we're trying to find the price of? Blouse, skirt.
Blouses, skirts.
Okay, so there's my X, Y, and Z. Blouse, skirt, and jeans.
Why was such a plain word?
It sounds like mouse.
Tunic.
Does anyone say blouse? What is a
Yes.
blouse?
Does it matter? So like you said X is blouse, if I were to say X is skirt, would it matter?
So what-
As long as you wrote your
it all
answer
started like
saying
next
that a
year,
skirt is
Wi-Fi.
whatever,
And
and blouse is whatever.
Southern England, they start choosing.
Okay, so let's start with Laverne. Okay, Laverne bought 3 blouses, 2 skirts, and 4 pair of jeans. How much did she spend?
$292.
$292. So that would be 3x plus 2y plus 4z equals 292.
Who are your friends? Like, where did you get the name?
You've never heard of Laverne and Shirley?
Dude, it's Jules Laverne, obviously. That's not how.
Well, add that to your homework. You have to look up Laverne and Shirley.
What?
That is not actually, what the heck is wrong?
That is funny.
Okay, so there's Laverne. Now let's talk about Shirley. All right, so Shirley bought 1 more blouse and 1 less skirt than Laverne. So how many blouses did she buy?
Sure.
It says 1 more blouse, 3 plus 1 is 4.
Why?
Okay,
4X.
so 4x plus
1Y, and
1y plus 3z. Where's 3z come from? 3 pairs of jeans. 3 pairs of jeans. Okay, equals what?
$252.
Where's 252 come from? 292 minus 40. That was the one I got wrong.
You got,
Wow.
I don't know. I didn't read all the
good
words.
at complicated math, not so much the.
It's a rough math day. There's only 2 though.
See, that's not.
Okay, that's only 2 equations. There's only 2 people, Laverne and Shirley. What else do they give us?
Like cost of jeans.
Yep, jeans cost $4 more than skirts. So jeans, Z, is $4 more than the skirt. How would I write that?
Zero X minus
Z
Y.
equals Y plus 4, which you could write if you wanted to. You don't have to. You could write it 0x minus Y plus Z equals 4. So here are your 3 equations. You don't have to. This makes sense in my head, but I think it's confusing to some people. You don't have to use it. All right. Okay, I'm gonna let you work it. I'm gonna let you work it. If you're done early and you'll.
Dang, that's an expensive. And really cheap jeans. $36 for a pair of jeans. She's thrifting.
All right, so you should have $28 for each blouse, $32 for each skirt, and jeans are $36. Okay, the last thing we're gonna do is set up number 5 on the purple page. So the purple day, whatever they were on, 29 homework.
I have a question.
Yes,
Did we skip the fair cost under 20?
we're gonna do that. That's part of your homework tonight.
Oh.
I would have remembered, don't you worry. All right, so let's talk about this one. I'm gonna help you set it up. So in a basketball game, the star player scored a total of 35 points. In basketball, it's possible to make a 3-point basket, a 2-point basket, or a 1-point free throw. He made as many 2-pointers as 3-pointers and free throws combined. He scored 1 point more with 2-pointers than he did with 3-pointers and free throws combined. How many of each type of score did he make? All right. So what are the 3 things we're looking for?
3-pointer, a 2-pointer, and a 1-pointer.
How many of each, right? So the number of 3-point baskets, the number of 2-point baskets, and the number of 1-point baskets.
Do I need any basketball knowledge to do this problem?
Nope.
That's why we're setting this one up together.
Requirement, dude.
Oh.
All right, so the star player scored a total of 35 points. Right?
So him.
So he made a total of 35 points, then however many of each one of these added up adds to a total of 35, right?
Yeah, so it'd be like,
So he's gonna get 3 points for every 3-point basket, plus 2 points for every 2-point basket, and 1 point for every 1-point basket, to give him his total number of points, which was 35.
yeah, I would have definitely not thought the wrong way around. I'm looking at.
Okay, what else did they tell us?
He did.
Hey, 2-pointers or 3-pointers? One.
He made as many 2-pointers as 3-pointers and free throws combined. So the number of 2-pointers is the same as these two combined. How would you write that? Y equals X plus Z.
One.
Okay, the last one is he scored 1 point more with 2-pointers than he did with 3-pointers and free throws combined. Okay, so we have 3-pointers and free throws combined, right? We're talking about the number of points, because it's 1 point more. So 3-pointers and free throws. So 3x, that's 3-pointers. Free throws is y. If it's 1 point more than that, you're gonna do plus 1. Nope, that should be easy.
Yeah.
None of you are gonna tell that?
Oh.
3-pointers and 1-pointers, or free throws. What does that equal?
2-1.
2y. There you go. So we set that one up. So when you come back on Thursday, first of all, you have a quiz. Okay, you have a quiz on Thursday, so this comes up there. Okay, but you're gonna do the day 29 homework, which was 5 questions. Free response 20 and free response 21. Okay? So we set this one up, so it shouldn't be too bad.